to another episode of Rolling the Bomb. I'm your host, Zach Moore. We are back for another episode of NASCAR content. Looking forward to breaking it all down today. This is my Bristol Food Safe Manager preview, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about before we get to that. So we're going to jump straight into it. First thing, Kamui Kobayashi will drive in the 2311 No 50. I thought it was going to be No 67, but No 50 at the Circuit de Americas Cup Series race. This is really cool. This is exciting. Kamui Kobayashi ran his first race in the Indy road course. Didn't do super well. Maybe a little bit disappointing. Maybe he just wasn't prepared for the aggressiveness that the Cup Series brings. I don't know where he finished, but I think he might have finished outside the top 30. He just didn't do a great job. But it's nice to see that 2311 and 20 is getting an opportunity. I'm excited. This race, the Circuit of the Americas race, is going to be stacked. You're going to have SVG in that race, and now Kamui Kobayashi, and you got AJ Allmendinger in that. So you have a lot of talented road racers. I'll be excited to see how they do. You know, Circuit of the Americas, the Cup Series has already ran there, I think, 3 times now, so they're going to have a lot more experience against these guys who are road guys. And now the fact that we have 4+ road course races, it's going to be hard for these one-timers to come in here and really school the field. Besides maybe SVG, who was in a perfect circumstance at the Chicago Street Course race, where they were on the street course race for the first time, and none of these drivers have ever experienced that. But overall, this will be exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. Next thing, looks like NBC plans to switch their broadcast lineup after the Olympic break and bring in lead commentator Lee Diffie to be the lead commentator for them. Rick Allen will stop after the pretty much the Brickyard 400 because that's the last race until the Olympic break. Overall, I think this is a great move. Lee Diffie has commentated NASCAR races before, a couple of select races, and he's done a great job. He brings the energy. He's exciting to listen to. He's a lead commentator for IndyCar. So overall, I think this is going to be a fun move. It's definitely going to bring some must-need energy and excitement for the NBC season. After losing Earnhardt Jr., there's a lot of just bad blood. People maybe feel a certain way towards NBC from losing him, but I think overall it's going to be good for all parties overall when we come into the new TV deal. But this is definitely going to be fun to hear Lee Diffie back calling a NASCAR race. Next topic, we got to talk about horsepower again. But it was another quote from a NASCAR driver, one of the top drivers in our series. Kyle Larson had some interesting thoughts. He was on the Dale Earnhardt Jr. download. He was definitely previewing his win at Las Vegas because every week Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings in the winner from the race, and we had to deal with NASCAR to talk about the race. So they brought in Kyle Larson, and the horsepower talk has been most talked about all week this week. I mean, I've seen more talk about that than I've seen in a long time. A lot of the top higher-end people like Chris Rice had some comments I wasn't a big fan of, but I think the biggest ones were from Kyle Larson. So I'll play a clip and then give you my thoughts.
Just take us to, I don't know, somewhere, Richmond or wherever, and go test. Go to Martinsville. Go test it. Try it out. I feel like they've always used the excuse of, or at least I've heard the excuse of, well, we're trying to keep horsepower to where other manufacturers might want to come in. Well, as long as I've been in the sport, which is longer than 10 years, it's been the same 3 manufacturers. So maybe somebody else is coming and maybe they're the ones pushing for lower horsepower, but I've yet to see anybody new come in, and all these engine builders and teams are saying it's not going to cost any different to do it. I've heard our Scotty Maxim say the same thing. He's like, dude, we could bring 1,000 horsepower next week.
So after hearing those comments from Kyle Larson, he takes a shot at NASCAR, calling out their reasoning, which was about the whole thing with manufacturers. The reason we have low horsepower is because we're waiting for another manufacturer, so many manufacturers come in. We have not heard a freaking thing besides we Honda, but it's just been mostly rumors from Honda. Talks about how his when the engine guys had said they could bring back 1,000 horsepower without denting their costs. And we also have heard from Denny Hamlin that they've been using one engine twice for 2 races for the past 8 years, and that was when they were still running 900 horsepower. So I just mean, it's freaking ridiculous. I feel like NASCAR's getting exposed here. They're getting caught out for all their lies they've been spreading. I feel like we're getting close, but it's really all going to come down to NASCAR. I mean, if they want to do the right thing, they want to say, hey, they listen to their fans the most out of any sport, they went up the horsepower. I feel like the freaking North Wilkesboro would be the perfect freaking time to do this. It's exhibition, okay? And it stinks because they're doing a tire test right now in North Wilkesboro, but no one's up in the horsepower. I just mean that would have been perfect. Bring it to the freaking North Wilkesboro and give them 1,000 freaking horsepower. Give them the big boy exhibition, short track, new payment. Let those literally make it the first ever next gen race with 1,000 horsepower at North Wilkesboro. Could be insane. Could be great. Okay, and I already said, but we have heard this whole horsepower movement has really been spreading big. We hear stuff from Chris Rice, and he says how the field will get more spread out. But I don't care, man. I want the racing. I don't want the racing to be the reason. I don't want the freaking driver saying we can't pass. If the racing is not when it was in the old car, we need to freaking fix that. I think the racing will be better than what the old car was when they add more horsepower. We don't want drivers saying, "Oh, I don't want a freaking faster car," not being able to pass a slower car because of dirty air. It doesn't look good for TV when you got this one car just riding someone's bumper, but the guy in front of him is aero blocking the crap out of him, so he can't pass. I don't like that. I think this movement's great. I hope overall we finally maybe get a budge from NASCAR. But overall, good stuff. Like hearing our top drivers, speaking out against NASCAR's reasonings for not wanting to add horsepower. It's good stuff. The Cup Series, Food City 500, 36 entries. The two notable ones would be Kaz Grala in the 15, and A. John Dare is back in the 16 for calling. The rest are the same. Yada, yada, yada. 36 entries, all chart entries. They're running the intermediate package for this week. It is kind of funny. I think I heard something from Brett Griffin for the Door Bumper Clear podcast that, they're going to go, they run this short track package at Phoenix, which is, not, some people wouldn't consider it a short track. And then next week we go to Bristol, which is a legit short track, and we don't run a short track package. So it's just a bit confusing. I've heard stuff that, the banking is affecting. We can't have too little downforce, all this stuff. It's kind of dumb because I think the Bristol racing has been okay, but not great. It's not what it once was. So that's nothing of a bummer thing. But we look over the stage lengths. Stage 1, 125. Stage 2, 125. Last stage, 250 laps. 500 laps. Looking forward to, I think it's like 255 miles to be exact, somewhere around there. I guess it's like 500 kilometers, whatever, for kilometers, whatever they used to. It's not actually 500 miles. Overall, this is certainly the first spring race since 2020, since COVID. Brad Keselowski won that last race. But the past two payment racers for the Bristol Night Race have, in the next gen car, I'm always counting next gen car, because I do think there is a big difference, which there is. Chris Buescher won the first Bristol Night Race in next gen, and then Danny Hamlin won the most recent one. But we know, Brad Keselowski won here multiple times. Kyle Busch was once the most dominant guy here. He's swept, I think, Trucks Xfinity Cup here twice. But I think this race hopefully will be good. I don't think they shift anymore here. I think they got rid of that. I don't know how they did it. Just something that they were able to figure out there. So that should be something that helps. I think you're going to see multi-groove. I think the weather has gotten better. There was a chance. I think there's only a 20% chance for Sunday, which should be good. I think there's going to be a good crowd. I was looking at tickets. There's not many left. So hopefully they have a good crowd, because this is what the fans want. They want a concrete back. They don't like dirt. I do agree. I don't think dirt was really doing. It was on Easter, but the grandstands weren't getting full. TV ratings were okay. I think this is the best route for Bristol. It's such an iconic track. They're bringing back the yellow and red striped walls to bring back the 80s theme. If we look at contenders, Kyle Busch, RCR, they haven't really shown much in the short track package. I don't know. I don't even think Kyle Busch finished in the top 10 last year here on payment. He did pretty well in the dirt race, so I'm not feeling confident about Kyle Busch. I do feel confident about the Toyotas. They've been fast. Danny Hamlin won this race last year. Christopher Bell was on the pole. If this is the intermediate package, the Chevys were pretty good there, but the Toyotas are right there. I still think the Fords could be fast. The RFK cars have been good here, pretty good. I think the Stewart-Haas cars are going to be good here. I actually think Noah Gragson, Chase Briscoe, this could be really cool. I know Gragson bringing back Bass Pro Shops, so that's really cool. I think there's going to be a good mix of contenders. I personally think the Toyotas will be the best car. They'll be the top contenders. Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell. Ty Gibbs was also good here. It'll be a Chevy, Toyota. Ford will be the third. But I think it'll just come down to who stays up front all race. Any track position will be important. But if you have a fast car, we have all learned. If you have a fast enough car, you can make passes. I know Kyle Larson, I think, in the last year's Bristol night race, he started like last and was able to get us. I was watching him run the wall the whole time. I was actually at that race, so it was entertaining to watch. So if you have a fast enough car, you can make passes, but it'll still be hard to pass. I get a pick. I'm going with the Toyota, and I'm going with Ty Gibbs. It's a wild pick, but I really believe he's been up front at all these short tracks. I guess there's only been two, but the Clash, I gotta see him. He was up front. Maybe he should have won that race until late caution and getting kind of banged up and bumped out of the way and messed his day up. Got wrecked there. But then in the Phoenix, he wasn't the strongest car there, but he led 50 plus laps, so he was fast. And I believe that I think he could win it. He led laps in his Bristol race too. Last year's night race, he led a lap. He might have been. He was a top 5 car. He was leading laps until he got passed by Denny Hamlin. So I personally believe he could be very, very good, and I believe that he'll be up there competing for the win. So I got Ty Gibbs winning this race. Besides that, it's a very quick review. I don't do super well with going all in the stats. I just want to give you who I think could be competitors, who has run well at times. It's all in my brain right here. It's all happening up here. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. Let me just what do you think about Kyle Larson's comments on horsepower? What do you think about NBC bringing back Lee Diffie and also Kui Kobayashi returning to 2311? How do you think he'll do at Dakota? Besides that, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the Food City 500 this weekend at 3:30 Eastern. Looking forward to it. Bye, y'all.